Hey there, rock and roll renegades and closet air guitar champions. You know that riff, the one that hits like a freight train of heartbreak wrapped in electric fury? Yeah, Layla. If you're breathing and over the age of, say, 5, you've heard it blasting from a car stereo, sneaking into a movie soundtrack, or even lurking in the background of some awkward wedding dance. It's the song that turns mild-mannered accountants into head-banging heroes for 7 glorious minutes. But hold on to your flannel shirts, because the story behind Layla isn't just a tidy tale of bluesy brilliance. It's a wild, wacky whirlwind of forbidden love, superstar shenanigans, and enough drama to make a soap opera blush. We're talking stolen wives, ancient Persian poetry, and a drummer who, well, let's not spoil the madness yet. Buckle up, because by the end of this you'll never hear that piano coda the same way again. And if you're thinking, Grok, isn't this just another Eric Clapton ego trip? Oh honey, we're about to dive deeper than a mosh pit at a Nirvana show. Let's rewind to the late 60s, when the rock world was a tangled mess of egos, excesses, and enough groupies to fill a stadium. Enter Eric Clapton, the guitar god fresh off Cream's psychedelic supernova. The guy's got the blues in his blood, but his heart, that's a whole other battlefield. Picture this. Clapton's chilling with his buddy George Harrison. Yes, that George Harrison, the quiet Beatle with the killer moustache and even killier wife, Pattie Boyd. Pattie wasn't just arm candy. She was a model with legs for days and a smile that could launch 1,000 riffs. Eric falls hard. Like, write a song about it hard. But wait, there's a twist straight out of a bad rom-com. Pattie's married to George and Eric's not about to play homewrecker yet. Inspiration strikes like a lightning bolt from the literary gods. Clapton's handed a book by his pal Ian Dallas, the story of Layla and Majnun, a 12th century Persian epic about a dude named Majnun who goes bonkers over an unattainable beauty named Layla. Sound familiar? Eric sees himself in Majnun's madness, pining for Pattie, who's basically off limits. It's poetic justice, or poetic torture, depending on your view of love triangles. He starts scribbling lyrics that scream desperation. What'll you do when you get lonely and nobody's waiting by your side? Oof! That's not just a chorus, that's a cry for help set to music. But Eric's no solo act here. He teams up with Jim Gordon, a session drummer extraordinaire who's pounded skins for everyone from the Beach Boys to the Monkees. Together, they craft this beast of a song. The verses build slow and sultry, like a storm brewing over the Mississippi Delta, then bam, the chorus explodes with that iconic riff. And speaking of riffs, enter Duane Allman, the slide guitar wizard from the Allman Brothers. Duane slides in, pun intended, and layers on those wailing licks that make Layla feel like it's tearing your soul apart. What if Duane hadn't shown up? Would Layla just be another blues jam gathering dust? Nah, but it might have sounded more like a polite tea party than a full-on heartbreak hurricane. Now here's where it gets grunge-punk provocative. Eric's channeling raw emotion, the kind that later fueled Gen X's angsty anthems. Think about it, Kurt Cobain screaming about teen spirit? That's got echoes of Majnun's madness filtered through flannel and feedback. And obscure trivia alert, while Layla predates the riot girl movement by decades, that graffiti-scrawled feminist punk explosion in the 90s, it borrowed from the same DIY ethos Eric was tapping into. Riot girls like those in Bikini Kill were spray-painting manifestos on walls, much like how ancient Persian poets etched love laments into stone. Coincidence? Or just rock's rebellious ripple effect? Either way, Layla proved that vulnerability could be vicious, paving the way for bands to bare their souls without apology. Fast forward to the recording sessions in Miami's Criteria Studios, summer of 1970. Eric's assembled a supergroup incognito, Bobby Whitlock on keys and vocals, Carl Raddle on bass, Jim Gordon on drums, and Duane Allman guesting like a ghost in the machine. They call themselves Derek and the Dominos, Derek being Eric's childhood nickname, a sly dodge from the spotlight after Cream's burnout. The album? Layla and other assorted love songs. It's a double LP crammed with blues covers and originals, but Layla is the crown jewel, clocking in at over 7 minutes with that epic coda. Ah, the coda, the piano outro that's smoother than a whiskey chaser. Legend has it Jim Gordon wrote it, but here's a juicy tidbit. Rita Coolidge, singer and then girlfriend of Gordon, claims she co-penned that haunting melody during a session for another project. It got lifted without credit, turning into one of rock's quiet credit kerfuffles. No lawsuits, mind you, just the kind of behind-the-scenes drama that makes you wonder how many hits have hidden co-authors. Recording was a haze of heat, heroin whispers, Eric was battling addiction, and high-stakes jams. Duane and Eric traded licks like dueling swordsmen, pushing each other to guitar godhood. The result? A track that's equal parts frenzy and finesse, with Eric's vocals pleading like a man on the edge. But release day? Crickets. The album drops in November 1970 to lukewarm reviews and sales that could barely fill a dive bar. Critics called it indulgent. Fans scratched their heads at the anonymous band name. Shenanigans ensue. Radio stations balk at playing a 7-minute epic, too long for AM rotations. Eric's like, fine, whatever, retreating into his haze. The band tours briefly, but it's a mess. Drugs, egos, and Duane's tragic motorcycle crash in '71 cuts the Dominos short. What if they'd stuck together? Could have been the next Led Zepp, but nah, fate's a fickle frontwoman. Then magic happens in '72. Polydor re-releases Layla as a single trimmed down for radio. Boom! It climbs charts, hits number 10 in the US, and suddenly everyone's humming that riff. Pattie hears it, gets the message loud and clear. Spoiler, she leaves George in '74, marries Eric in '79. Happy ending? Not quite. Their marriage crashes in '88 amid more drama, but hey, it birthed another hit, Wonderful Tonight. Rock and roll romance. It's complicated. As Layla ascends to mythic status, controversies swirl like smoke from a backstage joint. First, the love triangle. George and Eric stay pals despite the wife swap. George even quips at their wedding, "I hope she's better for you than she was for me." Classy or shady? You decide. Then there's Jim Gordon's dark turn. The drummer, battling undiagnosed schizophrenia, murders his mother in '83. He's still incarcerated, a tragic footnote to his genius. No embellishing here, just the stark reality that rock's highs often hide harrowing lows. Culturally, Layla ripples through Gen X like a seismic wave. Born in the '70s haze, it soundtracks their '80s rebellions and '90s nostalgia. Remember MTV Unplugged in '92? Eric strips it acoustic, wins Grammys, and suddenly it's cool for grunge kids to admit they dig classic rock. Obscure trivia time. Backmasking myths. Those backward messages supposedly hiding Satan in songs. Layla dodged that bullet. Unlike Stairway to Heaven, play it reverse and you get gibberish, not "Here's to my sweet Satan." Debunked. It's just Eric's heartache, no devil deals. But imagine if it did, Layla as a portal to hell. What if hair metal bands like Poison co-opted it with big hair and bigger egos? Picture C.C. DeVille shredding it amid pyrotechnics and spandex. Satirical swipe. Hair metal's excess turned rock into a clown show. All grunge funds drained on Aquanet and arena anthems. Layla stayed pure, a gritty antidote. And the weirdness? Layla pops up everywhere, from Goodfellas' iconic scene to absurd covers by everyone from reggae acts to orchestras. Ripple effects. It inspires Gen X's mosh pit therapy sessions, where kids slam dance their feelings out. Tie in Riot Girl, those '90s punk feminists graffitied girl power origins in Olympia, echoing Layla's raw defiance. Not direct but spiritual kin, both scream against the status quo. What if Majnun had a zine? He'd be Riot Girl royalty. Legacy? Layla endures as rock's ultimate unrequited anthem, influencing everyone from Pearl Jam's emotional epics to modern indie heartbreakers. It's in the Rock Hall, polled as one of the greatest songs ever. Weird lasting bit. Pattie Boyd auctions off Eric's love letters in Tutti 24 for millions. Talk about monetizing madness. Respect to the genius. Clapton's riff, Gordon's beats, Allman's slides. They crafted timeless turmoil. So there you have it, folks. The wild, wacky saga of Layla. If this riffed your world, smash that like button, subscribe for more rock revelations, and drop a comment. What's your wildest Layla memory? Until next time, keep the volume cranked and the stories spinning. Rock on, or as Majnun might say, love madly.